Welcome students. In the last video we have discussed about the primary, secondary and tertiary sectors and their interrelationship along with the importance of the tertiary sector or the service sector. Now we will discuss the division of sectors on the basis of the activities as organized and unorganized sectors. See, organized sector is the sector where the employment terms are fixed and regular, and the employees they are getting work assurance. That is, the terms of employment are regular, and the organized sector covers those enterprises where the terms of employment are regular and people have assured work. These employees they have to follow the rules and requisition of Factory Act. The Minimum Wages Act is also applied on them. The employees they register themselves with the government in a way, and the employees they get security of work. They have to work for a fixed number of hours. Also, this sector is called organized because the procedure and processes which are followed they are formal in nature, whereas the unorganized sector is a sector which is characterized by small and scattered units which are beyond the control of the government. The jobs are low paid and they are also irregular in nature, or that is, the job assurance is not there. The employment is also not secured. In the unorganized sector, large number of people who are employed on their own doing very small jobs like the street vendors and other such persons they are included, whereas in the organized sector when we see the employees they get different benefits in kind, that is, they get medical benefits, they get safe drinking water, safe working environment, but all these facilities are missing in unorganized sector. In the unorganized sector, many persons or most of the persons they are employed on their own doing some small jobs, whereas in the organized sector the people are actually employed. Now, how the workers or employees they should be protected in the unorganized sector? For this we have the organized sector. When we see, they offers jobs that are most sought after. Also, organized sector enterprises are entering in the unorganized sector. Since 90s, that is 1990s, large number of workers have lost their jobs in organized sector and they have entered into unorganized sector. In the rural areas, the unorganized sector includes the landless agricultural laborers and small and marginal farmers, the artisans and the sharecroppers. Sharecroppers, that is, they enter into a mutual agreement with the owner of the land that the owner of the land will share the produce in an agreed ratio with the farmer. So they are sharecroppers also. Around 80% of the households in rural areas they are involved in, they are included in small and marginal farmer category. Whereas in the urban areas, unorganized sector comprises mainly of workers in the small scale units or factories or small scale industries. On the basis of ownership, the sectors of the economy can be divided as public and private sectors. In the public sector, the sector in which most of the assets are owned and managed by the government, and all the services also are provided and taken care of by the government. Whereas in the private sector, ownership of assets and the delivery of services is totally lying in the hands of private individuals or private companies. When it comes to profit motive, the private sector is totally guided by the profit motive. In order to earn more and more profits, they are performing all the activities, whereas the public sector is having a purpose of satisfying the needs of people and social welfare along with earning profits. Their main motive is social welfare or social development. The government raises money, whatever expenditure the government is incurring, this is met by raising money from taxes and other ways. Also, when we see in terms of society why public sector is required, see, the society, it needs several things as a whole, and the private sector cannot produce such things at a reasonable rate which can be in the reach of access, or which can be accessed by every person. So the public sector becomes very important and it plays a vital role. Whenever we talk about the infrastructural facilities relating to the security of the country also, as well as associating the same with the welfare of the people, the public sector takes the initiative and develops such infrastructure like setting up of electric poles, construction of highways and roads, setting of the railway line, extension of the railway lines. All this is done by the public sector, not the private sector, because these services should be within the reach of the common man, and that's why the reasonable charges are there, and that is possible only when no profit motive, in fact the motive to serve the society should be there. Thus the government undertake such heavy spending and ensure the facilities that they are within the reach of everyone, and for this the money is collected from thousands of people who are using these facilities in terms of various taxes levied on the user. Some of the activities which the government has to support, and the private sector, since it is producing, it is involved in gain with the main motive of earning more profits, it produces quality goods. That doesn't mean that public sector goods are not quality goods, but the quality goods with a competitive quality, competition among different private individuals in order to capture a major share in the market, or in order to promote their product, they look for the quality and they try to make the product available even to the masses situated or located at the distance places. The private sector, it may not continue the production or business unless the government ensures that to the private businessmen, by means of providing relaxations in the tax, by means of providing better infrastructure facilities like proper power supply, well connectivity with roads, communication, developed communication. So all this is included. A large number of activities which are basically responsible for the upgradation or development of society, they are undertaken by the government. It's the responsibility of the government to carry on with such services. So the government has to spend on these, which include providing health and education facilities for all. Also, the government needs to pay attention to development or towards the development of humans, that is human development, and it is the whole sole duty as well as the responsibility of the government to take care of the poorest and most ignored people as well as the regions of the country for an overall development of the economy. That's all we have in this video. Thank you. Have a nice day.